makes puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, Falcon. Happy podcast day.
Hello, Somicron. Thank you for that wonderful greeting to podcast day. Really makes the day.
I still, 284 episodes. I can't tell if you're being sincere or not.
I mean, does there have to be sincerity attached to it or not attached to it? Can it just exist somewhere in the middle?
Okay? So you're deliberately going for ambiguity.
I mean, I'm just communicating my actual feelings, which are somewhere in the middle. That's all.
But hold on, your feelings are ambiguity.
Look, life. Not everything in life is a binary, man. It's not either sincerity or sarcasm. There's a middle ground.
But which was that?
In the middle.
So you're both being sincere and sarcastic.
I guess.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Think about it. What's up, Bovine Slime? That song is sick. Omicron got that for us a couple years ago now, 3 years ago now.
It's been a while. We've been using it pretty consistently for a while now.
And I think it's really holding up. I think it's fantastic.
I think it's okay.
Mean, not only because it's from the era of music when I was a teenager. Nope, that has nothing to do with it. I am not brainwashed to enjoy that style of song solely because I was 14 when it was popular. Nope.
That definitely wasn't a consideration I made while getting it made,
If I would be impressed if it was, honestly.
Yeah.
The dude's like, "What kind of style do you want?" And you're like, "Oh, I want Falcon to like it." What kind of music was popular when he was a teenager?
I mean, it definitely wasn't something I considered. Definitely wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Worked out though.
Yeah. So, got our value out of it. I think it cost me like $50. So,
yeah, I think definitely gotten. I mean, we've used it hundreds of times since then. So
true facts.
Yeah,
I can actually look it up when I got it made, but it seems like work. And it'll take a minute to vamp. Okay.
To vamp. Oh, you said vamp.
Yeah. Now let's just sit here quietly while I Google something.
You said vamp, and I was trying to translate what the hell you were talking about. Sorry.
Vamp. Yeah.
It's a vamp.
A vamp.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just trying to see what time the sun goes down because that's when it starts getting cooler, and it's a little further away than I would like it to be right now.
Oh, September 12th, 2018. So we're almost at the anniversary of like 5 years of having it.
Holy crap. I said 3 and I was like, that seems a little bit too much. Nope.
5.
That was undershooting. Time doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't.
Certainly doesn't.
You say 5 years ago, and I'm like, oh yes, 2015, of course. Yes. That's when that was.
2009 was 10 years ago, right?
No, 2001 was 10 years ago.
2001 was 10 years ago. Right.
I have conflicting senses of what year it is and how far ago things were.
I love the idea that Robin Williams comes out of Jumanji and he's like, "What year is it?" And you're like, "Dude, I don't fucking know."
Yeah, seriously, I'd be like, I think it's around 2019, maybe 2020 or something. And he's like, "Thank you." But for his purposes, I think that's close enough. 2023, 2020, whatever. Like for somebody who just came out of stasis or, a coma or something, 3-year window, I think that counts. Yeah, I really think that's totally fine. Yeah, Bovine Slime is just outright lying in chat here. We're closer to 2040 than we are 2006. No, I don't think we are.
Depends on the calendar you use.
Yeah, if you use the messed up calendar in Falcon's brain, it's definitely not the case.
I saw there's a YouTube channel called Kurzgesagt, which they put forward. You don't know how to pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's German.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah, it's very German. But they were doing like a limited run calendar, and they were putting forward the idea that we should change the date to it instead of being like BC, BCE, and all that, AD. We should be measuring what year it is from the start of recorded human civilization, or how far back we can say human civilization's been around for this long. And they said, well, simplify it, slap an extra 10,000 years on the date. It is currently the year 12,023, right?
Okay, I guess. I'm just trying to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's what the calendars are printed on. And I think if we use that, 2040 is definitely closer than 2006 from today.
Dang it. Can't bring evidence that proves me wrong. Stop doing that. Hang on. How are they determining when civilization happens?
See, this was a video I watched years ago, and it was probably only 5 or 6 minutes long. And I'm sure they had their sources, probably some ruins or some relics that they found, like when pottery was first invented or something. I don't know. Writing, maybe. Using something to measure the yardstick of humans as we would understand them existing.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it's a lot more complicated than I think most people think it is. That's all. Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough.
Well, that's why they said simplify it and add a round 10,000, not like 10,046.
Yeah, so there's a generally agreed upon 10,000 year era where humanity generally became civilized, according to most historians. Fair enough.
Yeah, where we were congregating in towns and cities and starting to develop languages and social contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah. At least in some parts of the world. Other parts of the world lagged behind. But yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Fair enough. This cord is like, what is wrong with you, cord? Just hold still. Okay, we're good. We're fine.
We're fine?
Yeah, I think we're fine. All right. What do we have to talk about today? Well, I could talk about something you don't care about. Football season is upon us.
Oh, how do you know I won't care about it?
Because you don't care about football or sports ball at all.
It depends on what's happening in football. Like
no, it is not.
What are you
talking?
You came to me.
Fine. If a meteor hits a stadium where football is being played, you will care about football.
No. Well, yeah, probably, but no. You came to me and were like, "Hey, here's some news. Like, here, check out this video about some league thing that wanted a streaming service. I don't remember. I'm scrolling up through our chat to try and find it. Yeah. The ASU president Michael Kirchner's thought on the Apple TV deal that could have been the Pac-12 remained intact. Right? I cared about that. That was tangentially sports ball related, and you just need to bring me interesting things in sports ball. You can't just bring me scores and be like, the Jazz lost again. Oh shucks, that I don't care about. But bring me something interesting, and I care.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I've done that before. I'll talk about things like maybe union strikes within sports ball, or this is the youngest player in the history of sports to ever play this sports ball. General, maybe interesting facts. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play professional basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess two things on that front then. One would be, in the baseball world, there's a dude named Ohtani. He's Japanese. He plays in the MLB in the U.S. He's the first dude in maybe 100 years to be an elite pitcher and hitter. There's been a ton of specialization in the sport of the last century, and he just came out of nowhere and is like, I can pitch like the best pitchers in the league, and I can hit like the best hitters in the league. And then he tore a muscle in his shoulder, and he can't pitch anymore. So it's like, well, now you just hit. Boo.
Yeah.
You're no longer interesting, Ohtani. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing is just American football is starting, and I have season tickets to the local college football team. I'm going to the games on Saturdays with my brothers, which is really nice.
Okay.
First time in a while. They've been out of town, then I was out of town, and then I don't know. There were just things that kept coming up, and this is the first time that all three of us are going to be able to attend the games together, and we sprung for some better seats, and should be a really fun time. So,
are they when you say better seats, what are we talking?
We're talking. So it's a 65,000 seat stadium, and previously we'd be in the upper quarter of those seats, away from the field, the top quarter-ish.
Okay.
And now we're closer to the middle, so 50% up from the field, closer. So it's a 25% improvement in visual acuity. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good time.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Bovine Slime says, I hope Otani will still win the MVP. Me too.
Me too.
He probably deserves it. It's a regular season award, right? In baseball. Anywho. Yep, there's that. There's also, I think I've talked about this before, but there's a YouTube channel called Friendly Space Ninja where he talks about TV shows that I have no interest in ever watching in my entire life.
Like Riverdale.
Like Riverdale. Bingo. Bingo like Riverdale. So his previous video about Riverdale like 3 years ago was like, I'm out. I'm done with this show.
Uh-huh.
I'm never coming back to it except unless they announce its ending. I'll come back and watch the series finale and just see what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So they announced it's going to be the final season. The final season goes, and he's like, well, I guess I should watch some of the first of the last season so I know what's going on when I get to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, they reboot the show. They're like,
really?
All of the characters and all the stuff that happened in the first 6 seasons, we're going to pick the people up and put them in a different multiverse that's in 1950 and then have them do other things and not have them remember where they came from. So it's a complete reboot. It's a slate wipe.
But
it's crazy.
It's a reboot, but they're hanging on to the same actors.
Yes. So what I don't know what you call that.
Oh God.
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
You take your characters, you wipe their memories, you drop them in a different place in time, and say, "Go." It's a remake.
No. Like I still don't think that's.
Maybe there's a new word for it. Maybe the showrunners have created something entirely new in the world of TV because they're insane.
I'm trying to think of literally any time something like this has happened before, because there've been shows that have been remade, right?
Yes.
But they've not used the same people. Like, not often they'll have like, oh, here's a cameo to the original actor or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's got to be very confusing to just be like, let's go watch Riverdale. And it's like, which one? It's like, well, they both look the same, you know?
You want to watch what, seasons 1 through 6 or season 7? Because they are not the same show.
Right. And it's like, do you need to watch seasons 1 through 6 to understand season 7? In theory, no.
Not really, no.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's
like,
weird.
So, yeah. So Friendly Space Ninja's like, okay, so we have this mystery, right? Like, oh, how did they get here? How can they go back? How can they get to retain their memories? Mm-hmm. And the show's like, we don't care. Like, nope, there is no going back, and it doesn't matter. Enjoy these characters. And it's like, what is going on?
Does the show like in universe make an effort to explain that these are the same characters being taken somewhere or have been moved, or is it just roll it like it's the beginning of a brand new TV show? Because you said this was about the ending of season 6, not the start of season 7.
Huh?
Like, he Friendly Space Ninja said he'd come back for the ending of Riverdale. Like, they're ending it, right?
Yeah.
Except they're not. They're still doing more. So is season 7 out?
Yeah. No. Season 7 in the 1950s is the final season of the show, and it ends the show. What? The last episode of season 7 is the end of Riverdale.
Hold on. So I'm even more confused.
Okay.
Okay. So season 7's the last season of Riverdale. That's what you're telling me.
Season 7 is the final season of Riverdale.
Except, what happens in episode 1? Are they in the 50s?
Yep.
And season 6 of Riverdale, the very last episode, they weren't in the 50s.
No, at the end of season 6, one of the characters turns into the Scarlet Witch or some shit, has magical powers, is possessed by one of her aunts. The show is off the rails.
Right.
Okay.
So they don't explain. They don't explain how they got there at all. They don't make an attempt, even through just like Scarlet Witch did it, right?
Right. No.
There's just nothing.
Okay. There's a tiny bit. So one of the characters, Jughead, he retains his memories of the previous life these characters were living.
Okay.
Nobody else does. He tries to. So, and the show gets all meta here and like kind of trying to make fun of itself because the characters are like, Jughead, what was I like in this world? And it's like, you were part of a organ harvesting cult. And they're like, ha, that's stupid. It's like, well, that's what happened because the show's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So he remembers, and then a different version of one of the characters appears to him and says something like the multiverse they were in, it was in danger of blowing up because of this whole Scarlet Witch thing. So she put them here in this other multiverse that's in the 50s.
Okay.
And that if she can fix what's going on in the other place, then she'll send them back. But then
it really sounds like if we can get renewed, I'll put you back where you belong. Right? Like they're just being like, if these writers get off strike, if our contracts get renewed, everyone can come back. That's what it sounds like.
Maybe so. I don't know. I mean, the Space Ninja also says the ratings for the show have been abysmal for like 4 years. So I don't think there's any hope that it's renewed. So then later on in the season, what's her face shows up and says, "Nope, too bad. It's the other universe is gone now. There's no going back. Thanks." So Friendly Space Ninja's like, okay, so we're gonna end the show with some like big, everyone has to come to terms with that they were taken from their homes and brainwashed, and they have to learn how to live with it, and maybe there's a big conflict. No, it's literally just like all of the 1950s conflict that we put into the show for these new characters, and season 7 is just gonna play out to the end, and that's the end. It's amazing.
That sounds really bad.
It is. I'll be honest. It's an incredible choice.
It sounds really bad, but I can't wait to watch the Friendly Space Ninja video on it.
Yeah.
Like finding out that he's got a new Riverdale video has perked my day up so big. No idea.
Yeah, I love the dude. Yep. So it brings me so much joy that the show has been total garbage for so long, and how they chose to end it was, don't bother with any of the plot lines we've established with the first 6 seasons. They're gone now. We're gonna do something else and then leave.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's wild.
Like, that's like Robert Jordan being all really tangled up in all these plots in the Wheel of Time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all these characters and put them in 1995, and then we're going to have adventures, and it's going to end the series, and then I'm going to be done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I just had this picture of George R. R. Martin taking all the characters from Game of Thrones, being like, I don't want to finish this. I don't want to wrap things up. It's too hard. What's this other thing I've worked on? Days of Our Lives. Let's just put everyone in Days of Our Lives.
Put all the characters in a literal soap opera.
Yeah.
And have them not remember who they were at all. They're just living their lives. It's great. That Space Ninja's like, what's funny is I like some of these characters better than the ones that they were in seasons 1 through 6. It's like they take like this, apparently Archie in season 1 through 6 is like this badass dude who bare knuckle boxes and fights bears and goes to prison and like goes up against the mob and stuff.
His entire like career arc is things that'll just get his shirt off, is what I understand from his original video.
Yeah.
And so boxing, check. Fights bears, check. Firefighter, check.
Yes. Exactly. But then this one, they just kind of go back to the comics version of Archie. He's kind of dumb. He's affable. He dreams of being like a traveling writer who just like hitchhikes on trains and sleeps in fields and talks to people in towns and writes about his experiences. He wants to be a hobo. He just has no idea, like no big plans at all. And he's just the comics version of Archie. And he's like, I think I like this version of Archie better. And the actor who's playing him seems to be having a much more entertaining time. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's like, so I mean, it wasn't all bad, but man, does it suck. Anyways, good times with Riverdale. It's good to see another video about it.
Potentially the last one.
I mean, I would bet money it is.
Yeah.
Just the whole concept was nuts. Like, we're gonna take Archie comics characters from the 40s and 50s and 60s
Mm-hmm.
and put them in modern times and make them like dramatic and murder mystery and people are going to die and there's cults that harvest organs. And it's like, I mean, that could work, but it's hard. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's a risky gamble. They rolled the dice on that one.
They did. And I think you have to have better writing if you're going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Faux show.
Although if you can't write, why are you doing this at all?
Because every now and then a production doesn't want to pay for good writing and they'll settle for mediocrity.
Yeah.
Like just okay writers. And some people need a first gig, you know? They need to cut their teeth on something.
I guess that's true.
I mean, once upon a time, these movies and shows would have been direct to DVD or direct to VHS. Now those don't exist, so they come out on Netflix and whatnot and on streaming services. But because all of the new movies also come out on Netflix, they get the same kind of level of scrutiny applied to them, is my theory. You know?
Yeah. Hang on. So, Riverdale is a CW show. So it's an over-the-air TV show. Just on a smaller TV station. Yeah. I mean, earlier seasons are available on Netflix. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I know, it aired live on the CW, which makes perfect sense because the CW lives for teenagers in dramatic situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much all they have. Anyway. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, sure. The CW is basically direct to VHS. Fair enough.
Yeah. Because teenagers certainly don't know any better about good writing. Right? Like they just haven't watched enough.
That's generally very true. Very true.
Yep. There we go. Solved it. Big brain.
Yep. Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else is going on?
Excellent question. What else is going on?
I mean, there's the Baldur's Gate.
There's always more Baldur's Gate. That is true. We've still been playing a ton of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, and I don't know how close we are to finishing that either, so.
We're in Act 3 of 3. So
true.
Gotta be getting close.
Could be an indication. We're coming to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting to the titular Baldur's Gate of the Baldur's Gate.
It's true. We are almost at Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, for a game named after Baldur's Gate. You sure spent a lot of time not there.
That is
throwing that out there.
That is technically true. Yeah, I don't know what to say because we can talk about the story, but it will be spoilers for people who haven't played it or haven't watched us play it.
Yeah, I think Bovine Slime is here, but he's been watching our stream, so he knows what's up.
It's true. He knows what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to talk more about the Raphael decision.
Raphael? Okay. Yeah.
So, bottom line, at this point in the game, your goal is to kill this elder brain, this Illithid elder brain that's been enslaved by these 3 people representing 3 dead gods who are trying to gain power, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to use the elder brain to conquer Baldur's Gate and the Sword Coast and like all of Faerun, and I guess turn everybody into willing slaves of theirs, and that'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your goal is that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're working on it. So then the devil shows up. Well, you go to a brothel and someone at the brothel's like, hey, the devil's here. You should go talk to him. And it's like, okay.
To be fair, we've met this devil before.
Yes.
We have a rapport with this devil already.
Well, first time he teleports us to his home and says, I can fix your tadpole problem.
And that's true.
We're like, dude, we just met you.
Yeah. And it turns out he wants us to. He's like, we can fix your tadpole problem, and we agree. And he's like, nah, you gotta beg. Like, you gotta be desperate. You gotta be on like the edge of annihilation when I'm your only option, and then maybe I'll do it. It's like, right. Oh, okay, that's a weird. Like, what could we possibly give you later that we can't give you now? You're a devil. You want our souls. And it turns out he wants to trade favors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he comes to us and says, all right, here's the deal. I'll give you the means, probably your best shot at defeating these people who are wielding the Elder Brain and the Elder Brain itself. You don't know if it's going to work? This is what makes it so good? He's like, I'll do that. It'll free you from your tadpoles. It will destroy the Elder Brain. It'll save Baldur's Gate and the Sword Coast. Probably.
Like, there's a probably on all of those things. So he's like, I can give you this item. You can use this item in a place to free a person. That person might just kill you. That person might be able to remove your tadpoles. That person might be able to help you with your... is probably your best bet. I'll give you that one. To dealing with this brain. To do it, though, you'll have to turn down someone who's been actively helping you. Right? Like, probably kill them. And in the end, all he wants is the power-up device. He wants the one-up, right? Like,
yeah.
And you have to wager, while freeing this person might be our best bet to saving the Sword Coast, we might be damning it if we do it this way. Should we take a less likely to win path, but in the long run might be better, although we might fail?
Right.
So that is like the crux of his offer, I guess. Like, how much do we want this devil in power versus how likely are we to save the planet now?
Right. Because, I mean, yeah. It's a mess. It's a total mess.
Total mess. And I love it.
100%. It's just like, how powerful exactly will this make Raphael? Because we don't like this guy.
Nope.
But also, can we live with him being powered up a certain amount if we also get to save the world from this Elder Brain threat?
Don't know.
It's like the current threat versus the future threat, you know?
Is a slower trolley a solution to the trolley problem?
Anywho, yeah. So it's just, here's a thing. You're going along. You know what you're doing. Here's a moral quandary. Here's something to think about.
You think we should do it?
I mean, then the other option the game kind of presents you with is we can just steal it from Raphael. We can steal this way from the devil. He won't mind. We'll use it to save everybody, and then everything will be fine. He won't be powered up. He won't be super pissed whatsoever.
And what's one more angry devil in the world? Right?
Yeah.
There's probably loads of those. I think we can handle that.
I don't know that we can.
I don't know that we
can't. But like in the sense of we are world saviors, not your character necessarily. I'm talking about me here.
Right? Okay. Just you.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna do this thing to save the world. Bam. And then I might get turned into a sheep by this devil and tortured for eternity. But you know what? Fair trades, you know?
You reckon?
From a paladin perspective, I think it is. Like the eternal misery and torture of 4 people versus the saving of the entire world, like all of Faerun.
If you're off being tortured and you are a world-saving level character, right?
Yeah.
And you're off being tortured, what happens when the next plot comes up? Who's going to save it then?
I don't know. We were nobodies. We were nobodies 100 hours ago.
Maybe.
Right?
But maybe we're the heroes the world needs, right? Like, can you risk your imprisonment against any future threats? And
Elminster is still around. Mithra's still around.
What's Mithra's a god. She can't do anything. She's beyond the like divine gate, right? Elminster just talks a bunch. He can't do anything. He didn't even cast a goddamn spell when we saw him, right? Like all he did was eat our goddamn cheese and waffle on
forever.
Yeah,
this is true.
Like he wasn't like, oh yeah, I'll stick around to help with these things. I'm a powerful wizard. He's like, I must go at sea to the wineries and my collection of finely ordered parchment.
And then Gale's like, he just plays the doddering old fool, so nobody takes him serious.
I think that's what he wants Gale to think. I think he is a doddering old fool. Because otherwise, he'd stick around and help. Gale would just be like, look, this is really important. I'll owe you one, but I think you should stick around.
Again, but the way that super powerful things like Mithra and Elminster save the world is they work through regular people like us.
Elminster's so all they have to do. How does Elminster get away with? How does Elminster get away with? I get to work through other people like he's a bureaucrat or something. It's like, oh yes, I pave the roads you all drive on by ordering the concrete supplies. Right? Like no. I don't think Elminster gets to count like that. He's too much of a tiny character. Like, he's only showed up once.
Gale says that Elminster has saved the world more times than we could ever know. Are you just going with Gale doesn't know anything? Is that what your stance is?
Is your stance as someone who's never had Gale in your party going with Gale knows everything?
He knows more about Faerun and its history than we do.
Possibly. Okay. But that doesn't mean that Elminster's honest about the number of times he's saved the world and isn't just like an old man talking up his legends to the young guy to be like, yes, I am a well-renowned wizard. Please bring me my food and do my chores because I am, I'll totally teach you magic, right? Like if you, yeah. He's probably just like a level 10 wizard, and like a level 10 wizard's great. He got past level 1. That's the hard part for a wizard, right?
Yeah, you're very squishy.
I'm not saying Elminster can't throw a good fireball. He probably can, but we've never seen him do anything, and I refuse to believe that he's saved the world numerous times, and they're not gonna like drop a book about him or something anywhere.
What? Who says there aren't books about him anywhere?
Have you read any of the books about him anywhere?
No.
Well, I've read a lot of books in the game. I got an achievement for reading over 100. Not one of them's about Elminster.
Yeah, that's not how this works, dude.
I mean, it's how the game gives us tons of background information about the world.
Yeah.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, but everything. It's all story relevant stuff. It's not like, here's the story of this guy who makes puddings over in Neverwinter. You know what I mean?
I bet you there's something about puddings in there. No, I found lots of books that are just equally as irrelevant, right? Like specifics on like the treatises of the soul coins. It's like, okay, we've got soul coins. These are something we can't use for the next 45 hours of gameplay. Why are you giving me this book now? Oh, the book also pops up later just to remind you. And it doesn't actually contain any practical information. It's just like, soul coins can be used to empower infernal engines. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and then Karlach's like, hey, soul coins can power me.
She's never once said that to us.
Oh, well, she said it in my playthrough.
She said it in my playthrough, but she's never said it to us.
We haven't used her for anything.
Well, it's your fault.
It is definitely true. And your fault. It's both of our faults for not using Karlach.
No, I can't swap out Shadowheart.
What do you, when you say you can't, what you mean is you don't want to.
I can't. Look, we need support casters. You don't want to run one. I have to. You want to run a broken Lae'zel. Like, that is, I have to compensate. Someone's got to carry this team.
Oh yeah, and it's Shadowheart. Yep, definitely her. Definitely her got everybody at Last Light in killed because she's some crazy zealot.
She didn't do that. We got the cutscene after we killed the Night Song. That doesn't mean those two things are connected. They just happened at the same time.
We left Last Lights in. Everybody was fine. We killed the Night Song and came back to Lightlets in. Everybody was dead or a zombie.
Exactly. That's just the factual linear description of events. They're not related.
That's just the risk of living in the shadow cursed lands, I suppose.
It
Every once in a
is.
while, you just turn into a zombie.
It's true. What really happened was that the Lunite priestess was weak, and she couldn't keep it up. She couldn't keep the barrier up, and they all died because of it. And that's what they get for putting their faith in Lunites.
Ah, Isabel. Yeah.
Definitely not our fault. Nope. Shadowheart's fault.
Not even close.
But hey, Spirit Guardians has done a ton of damage. She holds her weight. Don't you begrudge Shadowheart or my willingness to keep her around. It's not fair. I
just think she's gonna die. I think she's being puppeted by the Dark God Shar to the Dark God Shar's purposes, and that she's going to die, and that's it. She'll be gone, and we'll be like, oh, good thing we leveled up this really powerful character, and now she's gone when we need her the most. That's gonna happen.
Well, we'll just slaughter in for another really powerful character because they all level up at the same time. Like we've never taken Gale. He's also level 12. All right, like
we can get another cleric from Withers. No big deal. Let's just do that then. Let's leave Shadowheart in camp so she's safe.
But we have a perfectly good cleric. If she dies, she dies. Like, oh well. I would rather know that she dies than like have a puppeted thing by Withers. I'd rather have a Sharian puppet than a Withers puppet.
I don't know, man.
The Sharian one just has more story hooks.
Withers puppet doesn't ever make us do stuff we don't want to do. Withers puppet's great. I say, Withers puppet, go there. And he's like, okay. He's never like, oh, the Dark God Shar. I have to become a Dark Justiciar. He never says anything about that. He's great.
But you're just missing out on the game then. If you just played with Withers' toys, like there's all these great characters and story you'd be missing. Sure, they're going to plunge their daggers into the hearts of innocent Asimars.
Spears,
yes. Who have been chained up for hundreds of years and have never known the smell of fresh air because they're trapped in the shadow fell or something, right? Like, yeah,
have
sure.
Been murdered over and over by different Dark Justiciars to attain Justiciarhood. Yep.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, I would rather have that than play with a Withers puppet. Withers puppets are there if you need them, not if you want them.
It's fair. I'm just saying, you're going to be real sad when Shadowheart gets like disintegrated by Shar in about 2 hours of gameplay. Just throwing that out.
Yeah, you know what? And that'll be the story. The stories are allowed to make people sad. That's not a bad thing.
It's true.
Besides, she's gonna get incinerated and be half a lithid, and it'll tickle her. Shar's nothing to her Shadowheart now.
Wait, what?
Shadowheart's half a lithid.
I mean, fifth a lithid.
Her character sheet says that's what it calls in my character as well. Half a lithid.
It literally says half a lithid. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, half a lithid.
So bear that in mind.
Like, what are you? Shar should really be like, what are you doing?
Right. Just bear that in mind if we go to free the guy with the hammer. That half the party is half a lithid.
Yeah. And the guy's like the ultimate anti-Illithid character of the entire universe of all.
Yes.
Yeah, Orpheus, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Good times.
All right. Yeah, it's great. I'm still like kind of mad. We're trying to get into Baldur's Gate, and there are these people that are like, you can't get in, screw you. And then they took our money, and I was like, all right, we're going to fight these guys. And then, like, we're about to fight him, and some 10-year-old off camera shows up, throws an EMP at this robot who's going to fight us, disables it, and runs off.
And no one's able to catch him, like at a guard outpost at a checkpoint on a bridge.
Yeah. So then they're like, "Oh no, an EMP! You can go through now."
Well, they're like, "We can go through because we paid the bribe." When they took our money, that was them being like, okay, you can go through.
I know, but then the robot was like, you guys are rogue true souls. Come with me or prepare to die. And we're like, all right, fine, we'll fight you. And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah, then it doesn't happen, which is upsetting. I feel like we should have. Well, I suppose in our save through, they're probably still there. We can just go back and kill them.
We could just start a fight with a flaming fist and their robot.
I mean, you've done worse. You started with a fight with a flaming fist because there was a guy selling possessions on the side of the road.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was taking things like heirlooms and the ashes of people who have left their homes with almost nothing.
Right.
And giving them a carrot in return. Fuck that guy.
Here's the thing. If you're running from the end of the world, ditch the heirlooms. You can't take them with you where you're going in either direction.
Just because I have no sentimentality doesn't mean most people have no sentimentality, Sonic. We must understand others.
I'm telling them. I'm just saying. Your
You're
sentimentality is going to get you killed. And that guy was doing you a favor. At least you got a carrot for it.
Well, he's dead now.
It's true.
Also, he was annoying about Shadowheart. Because he was like, haha, I know who you are. I know.
Your cable fell out of your mic, I think.
What? Nope.
You cut out entirely for that sentence.
Oh, that's weird. I could hear me through my headphones. Weird. Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, he was just like flaunting the fact that he knows more about Shadowheart than she knows because her memories have been purged. I didn't like that about him.
Fair.
That's all.
Fair enough. I mean, it's fine that you killed him, I think, because Shadowheart literally wants to kill all the Sharians working in Baldur's Gate for not following Shar closely enough.
Oh, you're right.
And I am here for it. So.
Oh man, she is. You're right.
Yeah.
Every follower of Shar, the entire city, she's going to run them through with that spear. This is going to go great. I just know it. Yeah. Incredible. All right. What else? Oh, so I went and talked to that flying cat.
Yeah.
And you when we were doing it, you were like, it's Gale's cat. And I was like, it is? And then
it is.
At no point you were like, we should get Gale.
Well, I was already in the conversation with it.
Okay. So I went and got Gale. And Gale was like, it is you. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is your flying cat best friend that you were super into. Yeah. So you get a ring that comes with some kind of spell. I can't remember what it was, but it was okay. And then Gale's like, stop eating the pigeons, I guess. And the cat's like, and leaves. And I'm like, I don't think we got the result we were looking for with you, Gale. Feels like she's going to come back and keep eating the pigeons.
I was really bummed that I've got these beholder stems or something, like its eyes.
Yeah.
And the cat's like, my favorite food is beholder, but it's a little hard to get here in the city. And I'm like, but I've got some. Let me feed you. This will be great. You can come back to camp. We'll have a whole menagerie. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. The game was like, no.
No, you have beholder food, but you can't offer it to this cat who specifically loves beholder food more than anything else.
Boo. Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah. Annoying.
Disappointing.
Blah. Blah. Blah, blah, blah. So we get to the city and they're like, you have to save the world, but also if you could take down a vampire coven and like solve these murders, and it's like, oh, okay. All right, secondary quests.
Side quests are still important to the adventuring spirit of the game.
It is, but at the same time, the Elder Brain is like breaking free of its shackles because only 2 of the stones are being used to keep it docile right now. And there's earthquakes happening under the city because that's where the Elder Brain is, I guess. I don't know. And like, I don't know. I think they have it built into the game, or if you take too long, that the Elder Brain just like breaks free and everybody dies. Because you were too busy like dinking around in a vampire den.
I would not be surprised if that they did, but it will be tied to long rests. So as long as you don't take like 1,000 long rests, I think you'll be fine.
1,000 is way too high. It's meaningless if it's 1,000.
Okay, yeah.
It had to be tied to like 10. A real number. Yeah, like 10. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it undoubtedly.
Okay. Because I don't know. I'm just kind of worried about that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, we haven't taken a long rest yet, so we can just, it'll be fine. We'll
okay, good.
Yeah, we can go and look for Dribbles the Clown's body. We can solve the murders.
Gosh, Dribbles the Clown's body. I was thinking, how you were like, oh no, we don't have to find individual fingers or hands or anything or feet.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude who killed him takes hands. There's definitely hands we have to find.
You don't know that.
You don't think the ritual serial killer who takes the hands of his victims in the 2 times we've known him to kill somebody took the hand of this clown? I will bet you $2,000.
I will not
that he
take
took
that
the
bet.
hand.
I will not take that bet.
Good.
Because I maybe already looked up a guide for this quest.
Okay, so how many pieces of the clown are there, Samacron?
Hand,
Oh my
torso, pelvis, arm, leg, foot, head.
Wait, only one of each?
Yeah.
Like one arm?
Yeah, that's what it says.
How does this necromancy work?
Well, he only cut one arm off the body, I guess. I don't know.
So the torso
maybe when
still has one arm and one leg.
Maybe. I mean, from the item description that I have in my inventory, I don't think it does. But maybe it's that they're simplifying it in this walkthrough. But when you find one arm, you're actually finding both. Like he kept the arms together.
It's a localization problem, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe.
GameSpot. I don't know if GameSpot's got localization issues.
Yeah. So it's 5 pieces?
7.
Oh, gosh. Okay. How many different zones are they in?
I think they're all in Baldur's Gate.
I mean, no, because one of the pieces... Wait, where did I find the clown torso? Was beneath the temple.
Okay, so if you include that as a different zone, rather than just like a basement area, then like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Really spread them around.
Yeah. This serial killing dwarf guy. Like, not only does he like take this guy apart while he's alive, but he has to travel around to 2 different cities and drop his body parts in random places. What a guy!
I didn't say 2 different cities. Like I said, they were all in Baldur's Gate area.
No. Well, yeah, but one of them's in the Rizwoods. What is the name of the city?
Rivington.
One of them's in Rivington. So Rivington and Baldur's Gate are different things.
I don't know. Is your front yard and your house 2 different things? Like,
no,
it's all your property. It's all Baldur's Gate. Rivington is just the city on the outside of the gate.
Well, why isn't it called Baldur's Gate then?
Because the inside's called Baldur's Gate.
Whatever.
Look, New York City and Brooklyn are both in New York State. That's what it is. Think of it like that.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. Just like Brooklyn.
I don't know.
Well, Brooklyn was called a borough of New York City. So it's a
okay.
section of New York City.
What am I thinking of? There's another part. Think of a part of New York that isn't New York City, but is in New York State.
Oh, so like Albany.
Sure. You can make up words. I obviously am not familiar with New York geography, so I have no idea where that is.
The capital of New York is Albany. Now you know.
What?
Yeah, it's not New York City.
I'll be damned.
Look at you fact checking.
Huh. But why?
Why is it Albany?
Yeah.
Because when certain states were created, cities were more important at that time. Albany was like the best city in New York at the time. New York City was not awesome yet.
Yeah, but you can change it.
You can.
Why
but you have to have political will for it.
Take your word for it.
Oh, also, Oren said that there's a shapeshifter in her camp.
In our camp?
In our camp. And you know what I said?
Who?
It's that little redhead scamp who's like, oh, I have to get some food that I've been suspicious of the entire time.
She's not in our camp.
Is she not?
No.
All right. Well, she shows up later then.
Okay.
So keep an eye on her when she shows up to our camp.
Okay, you reckon it's her?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Nope. It's just a hungry child looking for their pops and their mom.
Yeah. No. Nope.
Yes.
Again, would you like to bet $10 on this?
Sure, I'll bet $10 that is just a child.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep. I think your Paladin oath is turning you paranoid. You're just afraid of everyone. You see it in injustice everywhere.
In fairness, that's the only option that I don't have any emotional connection to. Yeah. I went through the list. I was like, no, it can't be Will. No, it can't be Gale.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the way through the list, and I was like, who else is there? It can't be Owlbear. It would be funny if it's Owlbear, though. It'd be really funny.
That would be funny. I would be very shocked if the shapeshifter turned into an owlbear. That would be shocking.
I support this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good. I don't know. Anything else we want to cover this week?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else.
Okay, cool. Well, then that is going to be it from us for this week in this edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Thank you so much for watching at twitch.tv/Somicron, or I guess there's the VOD always at youtube.com/@Somicron if you're more of a YouTube person.
Sure.
You can support the pod directly by going to patreon.com/Somicron or falconpaladin.store and buying merch there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, until next time, we'll be here next week. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching or listening.
Mm-hmm.
And you take